how about when you get into confession, what if someone's like, they feel like, well, I'm just too embarrassed to say what I did. Like, how do you get over that embarrassment, that shame, and how do you make a good confession while you're in the confessional itself?
Yeah, great question. I think it would depend on where the person is at. So, like, if somebody's just coming to confession, I would just tell them, hey, it's important to know that everything that is said here, there is no institution on the face of the earth that holds any of its members to a higher degree of secrecy than the Catholic Church holds her priests to the seal of confession. So like literally everything you say there stays there. And it's not even, sometimes some people find consolation that like priests have heard it all already. You're not like saying anything that they don't already know. But I think sometimes people feel like they're letting the priest down, and it's like totally not even about that. It's like a lot of times I'm just like there with my eyes closed, listening, and it's like it's really like the beauty of a soul being restored. Um, Shame and guilt, they're natural human emotions. We all go through them. But I would say try to focus more on the forgiveness that's being given rather than the sin that is difficult to confess. And so, like, focus on you're going to be forgiven for this. Don't carry that burden anymore. It's heavy. And like when you do finally confess it, it just like breaks open. You're like, oh my gosh, like I needed that. And like I want people to experience that so that they'll like, I can't believe that I actually did this. I'm so embarrassed. And but like sometimes I'll say like, hey, look, like maybe go to a priest who you don't know. Or sometimes actually people might prefer to go to a priest that they do know. They want to be in that relationship with that. Either way, the most important thing is that your sin be forgiven. So focus more on that than maybe kind of like, some of the shame that you might feel.
Yeah, I remember asking a high school chaplain once. I said, when kids come to you for confession, you thought they were all good, and you found out that they made some, seriously bad judgment calls. Does that change the way you look at them? And he says it does. He said, because after confession, I begin to look up to them because they care more about what God thinks about them than what man thinks about them. And I see that as real humility. And so it inspires him, even as a priest, to have these kids that he thought was all good, just have the humility to come and dump it all out. And if what's holding you back, I would say, is like, well, I don't have to see that priest every week, and then he's going to know this deepest, darkest secrets. If that's holding you back, I mean, like you said, just go find some priest visiting from like Vietnam or something, just go behind the screen, get it out, and then find a good holy priest and consistently go to them. Maybe you got to get that big one off your chest. Fine, just go whoever. Like they say, I've heard it asked, like, what's the best Bible translation to read? It's the one that you're going to read the most. That's the best translation. If it's going to get you in the Word of God, that's the best one. And so go get that big one off your chest if you need to. But then if you really want to, I think, make progress in the interior life, to me, it's like a sport. You can't change your coach every week. Like if you're playing golf or whatever, you can't change your swing coach or football coach or whatever, because they need to almost smell the trail of the scent of your sin, in a sense of, okay, I know we've been wrestling with the sin for a couple months and we've tried this and we've tried that. Why don't we try this now? Why don't we try to get down onto this route? To me, you make so much more progress if you just find a solid priest and stick with them. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, but if you want to see the whole episode where this came from, just click the link here. And in the meantime, we want to invite you to help us share this message, and there's a couple things you can do real quick. Number one, if you like or comment or share this video, YouTube will actually show it to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We release videos every single day, and you'll be notified as soon as those come out. If you want to help us also to spread this message, you can support us at patreon.com/Jason Evert. That helps us to create these videos and show them to the whole world. God bless.